Gotta say, I was pretty excited last night. I was working away, click-clacking away with the old keyboard here in the home office when I saw the AP News story come through that David Burke, David Anthony Burke, known as David spelled with a 4, apparently having not heard the Weird Al song and not knowing that he's not supposed to do that unless he's 7 or he's Prince, has been arrested. Arrested. Why has he been arrested? He's been arrested in the investigation of the murder of this young woman who, let's put it in perspective, okay? This is a 7th grader. 7th grade when she went missing. She was a 7th grader. And her body was found in the front trunk of a Tesla automobile, either owned or leased by this guy right here, an adult man, a young adult man, an adult man nonetheless. And for months, we have been wondering, what? Like, what is going on and why hasn't there been an arrest? And last night it finally happened, but it was announced in the strangest way. I think in keeping with fine LAPD tradition. They're like, hey, we've arrested him. We'll get to like sending the file over to the DA next week. I don't know. Guys, I'm in a mood. I'm a little tired. I'm a little cranky, a little grouchy. Though this is good news. Why am I tired and cranky and grouchy? It's because this week was tax week. That's what it is. It's because this week was tax week, and I just hate filing taxes. Why do I have to pay taxes and then tell you everything that I paid in? It's just tiring. It's just tiring. So yeah, I'm in a mood tonight. Maybe Wanda has something that can cheer me up. Wanda, maybe cue something up. Maybe get ready for it. Yeah. Okay. Good. Wanda is here. She's going to help me out. Javi is professionally toggling toggles, pulling levers, switching switches, pushing the occasional button. We're going to be covering this case, of course, case of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. And then I've got some documents in this case that we've never talked about that give some information that maybe we haven't really dug into. Let's talk a little bit about why maybe it's taken so long for the LAPD to make an arrest, why the investigative grand jury, that whole thing. And but we'll go through those documents. They've been out there, but I don't think we've talked about them here on the channel. That, and we have 3 questions. We have true crime headlines. We're going to talk about Amy Hilliard, Anna Kepner, Tyler Robinson, Spencer and Monique Tepe, and maybe the stupid criminal of the decade, as reported on Crime Cod. And then we've got a little good news. So as they say, we got 10 gallons of show and only a 5-gallon bucket. So I hope you'll stick with me. This video contains mature themes and discussions intended only for adult audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello there, my friends. We're starting out with, with this comment from Just Call Me Kim P. Just say it, Gavin. Frunk. No. Ooh, I hate that. And you know what? It was not my car. It was a company car. But when we lived back in Northern California, from time to time, I would drive a Tesla Model S. And I just hated the kitschiness. I loved the car. In fact, one of my childhood friends was an early engineer at Tesla and brought so much to the world in terms of technology and everything. So it's I'm a fan. But I'm not going to say frunk. I hate that. I'm going to say front trunk. I'm going to say front trunk. And that reminds me, I don't know if I should say this. Oh, no, I'm not going to. But my wife has a term that she uses with the word front in it that is both hilarious and conjures some of my funniest memories of raising little children. I'm not going to say it, but but every time I hear front trunk, I'm just like, oh, no, I'm sorry. No, front trunk is fine. Front trunk isn't even fine. Frunk is the worst, though. It's the absolute worst. Well, hello there, my friends. Welcome back to another true crime conversation with me, Gavin Fish. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in wherever you're tuning in from. Please tell me in the comments where you are. I love that part of it. And if you are new here, you're into true crime, but you like to cut past the sensationalism, the fluff, you're in the right place. Occasionally, though, I do the occasional tangent. That's just something that I do. Okay. What case are we talking about? We are talking mostly tonight about the case of missing. She was a missing 7th grader from Lake Elsinore, California. She went missing and showed up in the orbit of this man, a man named David Anthony Burke, who is about 6 years older than her, something like that, about 6-ish years older than her. But the difference, of course, is that she is a child and he is a man. He is exactly 50%. Not exactly. My math is horrible. Javi, can you check my math? Javi's not a mathematician either, everybody. He's roughly 50% older than this young lady, right? Just, it's creepy and weird. And what makes it even creepier is the fact that her dead body showed up in the trunk of his Tesla. And ever since, what was that? September 8th, October, November, December, January, February, March, April. So 7-ish months we've been waiting for an arrest. I think it's all been kind of like dead body decomposing in his car. Maybe an arrest is in order. Don't want to jump to any conclusions, but that didn't seem like a wide, abysmal leap to make. It seemed pretty just, yeah, let's go ahead and do this. So why don't we start off by reading this article from the AP written by Andrew Dalton, just to kind of get us into this. We're gonna ease into this. I feel like dancing. Guys, I'm in a mood, man. Can you tell? I'm in a mood. Wanda. Wanda. Do you have any music that we might be able to just kind of like get our spirits up to? Yeah, I like this one. This is a good tune. Okay. Thank you, Wanda. That helped. I'm in a mood, guys. All right. Written by Andrew Dalton for AP, Dateline Los Angeles. Singer David has been arrested on suspicion of killing a 14-year-old girl. Javi, you're going to have a hard editing job later on when we have to upload the live stream to Spotify, where it then is distributed out to wherever people get their podcasts. But if you're a Spotify premium video person and you're in the rewatch crew, that's a great place to watch it. I'm just saying, there's a link in the description. Javi, you're going to have a hard time. I'm in a mood. Okay. Take 2. Dateline Los Angeles. Singer David has been arrested on suspicion of killing a 14-year-old girl whose decomposed body was found 7 months ago in his apparently abandoned Tesla, authorities said Thursday. David's lawyers declared his innocence, as they should, as is appropriate, because, as you guys know, in the land of the free, the home of the brave, the land of golden fields of grain, whatever it's called. We are innocent until proven guilty. Los Angeles police said in a brief statement, I'll say it was brief, that homicide detectives arrested the 21-year-old Houston-born alt-pop singer whose name is David Burke on suspicion of murder in the investigation of the killing of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Defense attorney Blair Burke, Marilyn Bednarski, and Regina Peter responded in an email, quote, "Let us be clear. Hey, I just want to I want to give you a heads up on something, okay? Now, this is a bit of a tangent. It's a bit of a tangent. Let's cue. Yes, definitely a bit of a tangent. Listen, when anybody says any variation of "let us be clear," "let me be clear," "let's be clear," "I want to be clear," "I want clarity on this," they're lying. Okay, this is a phrase that is designed to let them think a little bit and make them sound like they're being purposeful, and they're lying. Okay? Usually this comes from and I'm sorry, I'm usually apolitical, but I will keep it agnostic. Okay, they can be Democrats, Republicans, Tories. I can't think of any other Labor. I can't think of any other parties. They could be whatever. They could be a president, a congressperson, an MP, a lawyer. Let me be clear. Lie. Okay. You're about to hear a lie. That's I hate that. This phrase, "let me be clear" or "let us be clear," ranks right up there with me with "I do apologize." Who says I do apologize? Nobody says I do apologize except for people who are apologizing when they don't want to be, or they don't really feel like they are apologizing. People who apologize say, "I'm sorry." People who just go through the motions of trying to apologize say, "I do apologize." Okay. Gavin, it's a tangent, man. Okay. Let us be clear. Lie. The actual evidence in this case will show that David Burke did not murder Celeste Rivas Hernandez, and he was not the cause of her death. Close quote. The opinions expressed are those of the host only. Okay, it's just an opinion. Let us be clear. Lie. Beep. Red flag. Woo, red flag. Okay, continuing the article. Police said investigators would present a case to prosecutors at the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office on Monday. The office said in its own statement that it is aware of the arrest, and its Major Crimes Division will review the case to determine whether there's enough evidence to file charges. How interesting the way this is couched. Okay, look. I don't know. It's my mood. Let me just cut through the bull crap here, okay? The LAPD works in tandem with the DA's office. They would not have made an arrest without the district attorney's office. Okay, so this whole thing of hey, we're going to send this to the DA on Monday, and the Monday saying we'll definitely take a look. We'll give it the old gandaroo. We'll give it the college try. Oh, it's so stupid. Why do we have to go through? Oh, Wanda, I need help. Just something. Just, yeah, okay. Calm it down, Gavin. Yeah, oh, that's calming, Wanda. That is calming. I just don't know why we need to go through this kabuki theater. Okay. Quote, there has been no indictment returned by any grand jury in this case, and no criminal complaint filed. David has only been detained under suspicion. Oh, these are defense lawyers talking. We will vigorously defend David's innocence, the defense lawyers added. Okay. Again. Okay. This is a truth that deceives, right? No indictment returned by any grand jury. True. No criminal complaint filed. True. He has only been detained under suspicion. I mean, detention, I guess, is true, but LAPD is saying he's arrested. I mean, this may be a semantic difference, but to the common reader, which would include me, there's a difference between police detaining somebody and police arresting somebody. A detention is typically done because there is there is some uh, some probable cause, or what do they call it? Justifiable suspicion, articulable suspicion that there was a crime being committed and there has to be an investigation. An arrest has to hurdle the probable cause hurdle, right? So he's only been detained under suspicion. Okay. Okay. Continuing the article, it was their first public statement on the case. Authorities did not publicly name Burke as a suspect until his arrest. He was being held in jail without bail. The singer had been. I'm curious about the whole without bail thing. Is it because of the seriousness of the charge? Because they're saying no charges have been filed, but a judge would have to rule on the no bail thing, right? Man, if you are an expert on this, if you live in Los Angeles County, you're a lawyer, former lawyer, practicing lawyer, repentant lawyer, recovering lawyer, however you want to put it. I would love your commentary on this about, wait a minute, he's held without bail. It's a judge that sets or denies bail, but charges haven't been filed. How? I don't, okay. Continuing the article, man, I am belaboring this, am I not? The singer had been under investigation by an LA County grand jury looking into the death of Rivas Hernandez. The probe was officially secret, but its existence and the designation of David as its target was revealed on February 25th when his mother, father, and brother filed an objection in a Texas court to subpoenas demanding they testify. We're going to read one of those, well, a couple pages of documents that came out of that lawsuit. The long dead body of Rivas Hernandez, let's bring her up, was found in a Tesla towed from the Hollywood Hills on September 8th, a day after she would have turned 15. She was a 13-year-old seventh grader when her family reported her missing in 2024 from her hometown of Lake Elsinore, about 70 miles southeast of Los Angeles. Authorities gave her age as 14 when she was killed in court documents. The Tesla Model Y was registered in the singer's name at the Texas address of his subpoenaed family members. I thought it was a Tesla Model X. Does this matter? Probably not, but let me just Model X and then Tesla Model Y. Okay, maybe it is. Maybe it was a Y. Okay, I just need to get over that. It's okay, Gavin. The Tesla was registered in the singer's name at the Texas address of his subpoenaed family members, according to court filings from prosecutors. It had been towed from an upscale neighborhood in the Hollywood Hills, where it had been sitting seemingly abandoned. Police investigators searching the Tesla in a tow yard found a cadaver bag. We're going to get into this. It wasn't just like plastic garbage bags, because they described the zipping, okay? Found a cadaver bag, quote, covered with insects and a strong odor of decay, close quote, court documents said, and, quote, detectives partially unzipped the bag and observed a decomposed head and torso, close quote. Investigators from the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner's Office removed the bag and discovered the arms and legs had been severed from the body, according to court documents. We're going to look at this document. A second bag was found under the first, and dismembered body parts were inside it. No cause of death has been publicly revealed, and I'm curious if that's going to be unsealed soon. David, spelled D4vd, pronounced David, gained popularity among Generation Z fans for his blend of indie rock, R&B, and lo-fi pop. He went viral on TikTok in 2022 with the hit Romantic Homicide, which peaked at number 4 on Billboard's Hot Rock and Alternative Songs chart. He then signed with Darkroom and Interscope Records and released his debut EP, Petals to Thorns, and a follow-up, The Lost Petals, in 2023. When the body was discovered, David had been on tour in support of his first full-length album, Withered. Later, the last 2 North American shows in San Francisco and Los Angeles, along with the scheduled performance at LA's Grammy Museum, were canceled, as was the European tour that was to have begun in Norway. You know what just occurred to me? First, let's bring up Celeste. I haven't checked in to see where you guys are joining me from. I thought for a minute that Sharky was in Sweden, but nope, she's just got Swedish candy. Glad you are here, Sharky. I just refreshed. Let me get back up here. Toes in the Sand is coming to us from sunny Florida. I Am What I Create is watching from Newcastle, Australia. We got Tracy from Prague. Good to see you again. Detroit is in the house. Colorado in the house. Jacksonville, Florida is here. Erie, PA is here. Erie, PA. Nashville. Country Music City, USA is with us. Sunny, Ohio is checking in. Thank you very much. Yeah, Jules and me. 11 years old, so he was 17. It's wrong just typing it. Makes me feel icky. Yeah, it is. It's icky. Ohio in the house. Scotch's mom says, Gavin, let me be perfectly clear. That quote goes all the way back to one Richard M. Nixon. Yeah, I bet it went. It goes further back than that, but it definitely makes it at least there. Tracy Burns says, I teach English and I do not see anything wrong with I apologize. I don't see anything wrong with I apologize either. What I see something wrong with is people saying, I do apologize. It's a customer service way of saying, hey, I'm not really sorry, but I'm supposed to apologize. So, sir, I do apologize for the inconvenience. Madam, I do apologize that whatever, we wrecked your car, or we won't repair your car. I do apologize for that. Drives me crazy. Jules and me, or let me be clear, I did not have sexual relations with that woman, not one time. Yep, exactly. You guys get it. You guys get it? Think court dots say X. I think it is a Tesla Model X. We shall see. Let's see. Okay, Barry Cox, Lori Vallo's dad. Although he didn't believe we should have to pay taxes, and he didn't. Wrote a book and sued the IRS. Yeah, I don't go that far. I just pay the taxes and I file them. I just hate it. I hate the rigmarole. Why do we have to go through all that? Let's see. Scotch's mom, Gavin, please go back and watch last night's dual stream with Joel from Surviving the Survivor and Josh Ritter from Courtroom Confidential, 2 friends of mine, when they broke the news. It will answer a lot of your questions regarding no bail. Okay, well, okay, put it in here so I don't have to do the work. You do the work. I'm just playing with you, Scotch's mom. Wyoming here. West Point, Utah is here. Let's see what else we got. I think we got everybody. Okay, thanks so much for checking in, guys. I appreciate it. All right, let us go, shall we, to this here document. I want to give credit where credit is due. Steve Fisher released this on his X account months ago. And well, not in February. So I guess months ago. And it was part of 151 pages of filing in Texas courts. And it is a petition for one of the witnesses. And there were like 4 copies of this in that file, but it gives us some information here that the AP reported on. Okay, when was this filed? Give me a second. I think it should be here. So January 15th of 2026 is when this was filed. All right, to the Honorable, and this is from Nathan Hochman, District Attorney, at least from his office, okay? To the Honorable Craig Richmond, Judge of the Superior Court for the County of Los Angeles, State of California. The undersigned Deputy District Attorney of the County of Los Angeles, State of California, pursuant to the provisions of the Uniform Act to secure the attendance of witnesses from without the state in criminal cases, California Penal Code Sections 1334 et sequitus. Hereby reports and certifies, based on the information and belief as follows. 1. That there is now pending in the Superior Court of the County of Los Angeles the above entitled grand jury investigation by the State of California against target David Burke, the target, wherein target may be involved in having committed the following criminal offenses against the laws of the State of California, to wit, 1 count of murder in violation of Penal Code Section 187A. A grand jury investigation is currently pending at the Los Angeles County Superior Court. The grand jury investigation will resume on February 4th. I don't know how to pronounce his dad's name. Is it Dawud? Dawud Burks. That looks like how, and I don't want to besmirch a man. He got his name. It was given to him. Like mine was given to me. But you know the impressive clergyman in The Princess Bride, the guy who goes, marriage. Marriage is what brings us together today. That guy. This looks like how he would say David. Dawud. Dawud is the witness we want at the grand jury today. That's kind of what it sounds like. But anyway, or looks like. Dawud Burke's attendance would only be required on February 11th, 2026, and for as long thereafter until he is no longer needed, but for no more than 3 days. It is alleged in this case that the target, David Burke, may be involved in the death of 14-year-old victim Celeste Rivas Hernandez, who may have been a victim of foul play. Her severely decomposed, dismembered body was found in the front trunk of Target's Tesla on September 8th, 2025. On September 28th, 2025, at approximately 10:30 a.m., Los Angeles Police Department detectives received a phone call from the manager of Hollywood Area Official Police Garage. The manager stated a black Tesla Model X. Aha! It is an X. I'm going to take the word of the district attorney over the AP. It's an X. Had been impounded as an abandoned vehicle by the Department of Transportation on September 5th, 2005. The manager told police there was a strong smell of decay coming from the vehicle, which was attracting flies. LAPD detectives responded to the Hollywood tow yard to investigate. Detectives approached the vehicle, which was parked on the upper deck of the impound lot, and immediately noticed a smell of decaying biological material consistent with a decomposing corpse coming from the front storage compartment of the vehicle. Detectives obtained a search warrant for the vehicle, and when the front storage compartment was opened, detectives observed a black cadaver bag covered with insects and a strong odor of decay. So a cadaver bag. That's very specific. Can you order those on Amazon or something? Please hold. Please hold. If I go to Amazon right now and I just search a cadaver bag, sure enough, for $25, I can buy a 90-inch by 36-inch black Cadaver body bag stretcher combo with 8 side handles and center zipper for $25. The world we live in. For $14, I can get a white one without handles. For $22, I can get a blue one. For $42, I can get a 2-piece set. I can save $8. Holy cow. Who knew? That makes me wonder. I remember Steve Fisher talking about things that they had purchased that, like, when he went into the house, he was hired by the owner of the house that David Burke was leasing or was being leased for him. And he said, hey, there are things that are suspicious here. Like receipts of things that had been purchased. One was like an incinerator, stuff like that. I wonder if a cadaver bag was full on just ordered from Amazon. I never in my life have I ever considered purchasing a cadaver bag, but okay. Utilizing black latex gloves, detectives partially unzipped the bag and observed a decomposed head and torso. Investigators and criminalists from the Los Angeles County Department of Medical Examiner. Excuse me. Uh-oh. What am I supposed to be doing? Ah! Yeah. Okay. From the medical examiner responded to the tow yard to process the decomposed body. Upon removing the cadaver bag from the front storage compartment, it was discovered the arms and legs had been severed from the body. A second black bag was discovered underneath the cadaver bag. This may have been just a garbage bag or something. Upon opening the second bag, the dismembered body parts were discovered. Detectives were advised that on August 26, 2025, a citizen reported the above-mentioned Tesla as an abandoned vehicle parked across from somewhere on the 1400 block of Bluebird Street. On August 27th, the Department of Transportation officers responded to Bluebird and marked the vehicle. On September 3rd, DOT returned to the vehicle and issued a citation. On September 5th, DOT impounded the vehicle to Hollywood Area Tow. As was noted, that the Tesla was registered to target David Anthony Burke in Hempstead, Texas. David, who is a singer and performing artist, was on tour at the time his vehicle was impounded. Detectives learned that Dawud Burke is the father of target David Burke and has a close relationship with him. That witness, Dawud Burke, date of birth September 5th, 1979, resides in Hempstead, Texas, and then redacted. This, I'm curious about. But then it continues that if the elder Burke comes to the state of California in obedience to a summons directing him to attend and testify at said grand jury investigation, the laws of the state of California and of any other state through which he may be required to pass by the ordinary course of travel to attend said proceeding, shall give him protection from arrest and the service of process, civil or criminal, in connection with matters which arose before his entrance into the state pursuant to such summons. Interesting. That makes me wonder if there is an arrestable defense here, or an arrestable offense here, but they're offering him immunity. Interesting. Or if maybe there's a civil matter, I don't know. Or maybe this is just boilerplate. Who knows? The elder Mr. Burke is an adult, that the prosecution will provide the witness a round-trip airplane ticket and transportation to and from the airport, wherefore it is requested for and in behalf of the state of California that your honor certify to the above and foregoing by the issuance of a certificate thereto under the seal of the Superior Court of Record in the state of California to compel the attendance of the elder Mr. Burke as a witness at the grand jury investigation on the date and time set forth and pursuant to law. So I think that as it has been filed with the court, that is what happened, right? There'd been some speculation. It's of course been weeks since we've been able to even think about this covering this case. This is another document that was provided by Mr. Fisher. This is a search warrant for the car. There's not much to it. It's pretty standard boilerplate. It's from the 8th of September. Let's see if there's... okay. Vehicle described as a 2023 Tesla Model Y. Son of a gun! Which is it? Now we've got the court, and the AP to deal with. I guess majority rules here. It is a Model Y. 4-door, black in color, bearing Texas model or Texas license plate, yada yada, VIN yada yada. Department resources revealed the registered owner as David Anthony Burke, Hempstead, Texas. Vehicle is currently under storage at the official police garage, Hollywood Tow. For the following property, thing, or persons, discover cause of the foul odor emanating from the trunk area of the vehicle. There's a statement of expertise. Then there's a statement of probable cause. Let's see what the PCA says. On September 8th, 2025, Detective... How do you say that name? Is it Detective Clore. Oh, Detective Third Class Clore. I thought it was his first name. Dang it, Gavin. Boy, are you on one today. Okay, Detective Third Class, Detective 3, Clore, with the serial number, was advised by official police garage Hollywood Tow that they have a vehicle on their lot which is emanating a foul odor and attracting flies. The vehicle was reported as abandoned to the LA DOT in the area of 1406 Bluebird Avenue in Hollywood. Los Angeles Department of Transportation responded to the location towed the vehicle on September 25th. And vehicle's current registration comes back to Texas. Currently unable to contact registered owner of vehicle. Detective Clore responded to the location and verified the vehicle is emanating a foul odor from the trunk area. That is my probable cause. Let's see what the return says. Human remains located. That's the return. So let's see what you guys are saying over here. And let's bring up happier pictures. Here we go. See what you guys are saying over on the live chat. We got a thank you very much. Just Ducky is taking care of me. Thanks, Ducky, for your super chat. I'll kick off today. Cheer up, Gavin. Think happy thoughts. I'm in a mood, man. I'm in a mood. Robin says, Gavin, stop. My husband is taking a nap and I'm roaring with laughter. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just in a mood. Okay. Emmy says I need to go watch it. Okay. And Robin says I'm on a tear. I'm having a day. That is for sure. Mooney says the DA doesn't want to call it a frunk either. Oh, it's just so kitschy. It's just so dumb. So dumb. Oh my goodness. Yeah. My search history. Listen, if I ever die suspiciously, investigators are going to have a field day on my computer with my search history. When you combine what I have to do for my day job with what I have to do for YouTube, oh my goodness, it is ugly. Let me, guys, okay. Yeah, it's a tangent. It definitely is. Okay, so a few years back, I was investigating this case out of New York State, and the case involved a victim who was a dancer at a gentleman's club in Buffalo, New York, or the Buffalo area, and the well, I mean, this is all public record. I mean, he was convicted of it. I think he took a guilty plea. So the man who is currently in prison, to my knowledge, lured this young woman from the club to his home, where he then did all manner of terrible things. Well, as I was investigating the case and I was going through, like, I was requesting documents, and then I was like going through the process. Okay, I need to know where this club is. And then I went there to talk to the owner, and like, I was like trying to get in there off hours and stuff. Like, I don't want to go to, don't want to go to a club like that. And anyway, so, and all the texts back and forth with my wife, I'm telling you, if I would have died in that moment, there would have been a deep, deep investigation. Yeah, gotta be careful as true crimers, right? Debbie asking, why is it redacted? I think probably because it is information that the court deems needing to be sealed. I think it's just something that easy. Elizabeth says the car has since been sold prior to auction per Steve Fisher. Who would want to buy that car? Oh my goodness. Jules and me, romantic homicide. He has a coffin on stage. His team is dressed like pallbearers. That is pretty creepy. That is pretty creepy. Glitter is forever says, oh my, Gavin. Yes, indeed. What is it? Eileen Into It says the PI did an interview with Ashley Banfield recently. He stated the Tesla purchased before going to auction and was sitting at a dealership. Wow. Ooh, goodness sake. I mean, who would buy that car? You guys have seen Mythbusters, right? The whole Corvette with the dead body in it. Who would buy? Yeah, that's gross. So that's pretty much where we are in the case. I think on Monday we're going to have a good update. So yeah, I guess we'll find out more on Monday. Is there anything else that we can add here? Probably not, right? Yeah, it's probably time. Let's do some questions, shall we?
It's 3 questions with Gavin Fish.
Guys, I've decided it's a day where I need to be happier. I need to be less grumpy, less grouchy, less in a mood. So in the 3 questions segment, I answer 3 questions. I answer 3 questions that you send to my email address, 3questions@gavinfish.com. And I'm going to do that today. 3questions@gavinfish.com. It's spelled out. Okay. But in a rare move of breaking rules, I'm going to allow more questions in the live chat. If you have questions, put a GF on it. I will answer it. We're not going to do a full Ask Got Me Anything. We're going to cut you off if it gets too long. But I don't know. I've got to have a reason to be a little bit happier. Just, you know what has happened today? I am a person who requires lots of space between activities. Lots of space. And, I'm the opposite of a TIDS optimist. My wife is a TIDS optimist, and she always underestimates how long something is going to take, and is constantly busy running from the moment she gets up to the moment she lays down. And when she lays down, she's exhausted. That has been kind of my day today. I am normally a give myself a padding, give myself lots of padding. That way I can just kind of casually saunter from one activity to the other. Plus, for like the last week, I've been up till 1, 2 in the morning coding, and I'm just exhausted. That's really what it boils down to. So vibe coding is fun to do, but the older you get, the more of a toll it takes, right? So anyway, we need to get happier. We're going to do some extra questions today if you guys have any, but let's start off with the 3 questions that came in officially. Question number 1 from Christina. Wrong button, Gavin. This button. Man, look at this. Look at this. So unprofessional. Okay. From Christina, if you knew you would be stranded on a deserted island, what 3 items would you take with you? I love this kind of question. This puts a smile on my face. I love this kind of question. You guys can answer this question too, okay? And I hope you do in the comments. If you knew you would be stranded on a deserted island, what 3 items would you take with you? Well, as a Boy Scout, I want to answer shelter, fire starter, and a communication device of some sort. I don't know. But the snarky guy inside of me says a professor, a movie star, and like a hot Midwesterner. That's horrible. No, shelter, a way to start a fire, an easy way to start a fire because I'm old. I don't want to go the old ways, right? And maybe instead of a communication device, if I was going to be stranded there, first of all, that would feel like a vacation, wouldn't it? Maybe something to hunt with, or some type of tool to create a tool to hunt with. Yeah, I think that's what I would do. I prefer the professor and the 2 beautiful lady companions, though. This is assuming, of course, I'm a young man. I'm an undevoted and unattached man, right? Are professors able to oversee any kind of ceremony? Because I have ethics and I have a certain moral standard. So maybe a reverend or a rabbi of some sort. I don't know. I don't know. No. I think shelter, fire starting, and tool making tools would be good. I think that's what I would do. I don't think it would be a pew pew because, I mean, unless I had lots of ammunition, but then does that count as one thing? I don't know. I like that question. Thanks, Zoe. Thanks, Christina. Sorry. Zoe says, if you knew you could pick up a new hobby, what would it be and why? I recently learned how to crochet. You know what, Zoe? We have a daughter who is so very much like this, where she will just not say anything about what she's been doing in her free time, and then she will like show up with a crocheted stuffed animal or chainmail or like she picks up these little hobbies, and I think that's pretty cool. I am working on, well, they're not hobbies. I'm working on, well, and that's not new. Oh, yeah, it is new. I'm working on painting. Right now. Please hold. I'm not good at it yet, but I've been in a very nostalgic mood. And so I have been painting my old late friends. And so this was my first go at it. This was my friend Ingrid. That was my first go at it. And I stopped halfway through. If you're listening on a podcast, you're like, I don't see anything, Gavin. But you'll have to go to Spotify or YouTube. And then this was attempt number 2. But as an untrained budding artist, I didn't know that you shouldn't use like marker for your grid lines. I should use pencil or something like that. And so I do like the way that it turned out, except it's got the grid lines on it, and I've been doing it in acrylic because I think it's an easier medium. I don't know why. It dries quickly, so it feels like it's going to be easier. But my plan is, neither of these are finished products, right? I'm gonna have to start over and do it again. Hopefully get better, and then I'm going to move on. I've got a couple of late friends whose portraits I want to do based on some photography I have of them and some memories that I have of them. That's so that's the new hobby that I am picking up. Now, I'm also working on picking up a new language to me. Uh, it's still in the category of languages that I already speak. It's a Romance language, so it's not that big of a leap, but I'm constantly working on something. In the meantime, like other things that I'm doing, I'm really kind of into doing history. And last time I was in California, um, I picked up so many old negatives from my dad. These are just the ones that aren't organized or scanned yet, but they're old negatives from my dad that I am working to digitize. And I do that when my mind requires me to move from project to project. It just it's the way I'm built. There has been some criticism of me from people going, "Oh, you got so many different careers, Gavin." But it is kind of the way my mind works. I have to go from thing to thing to thing, and I like to discover new things and try out new things. And I typically don't get too deep into those things before my mind wants to go to the next thing. It's like shiny keys, right? Gotta, woo, what is that? Squirrel. But yeah, those are some of the new hobbies that I am working on. Thank you, Zoe. And then question number 3 from Diane G, who sent in a whole bunch of questions. Who has been the biggest influence on your life? What a great question. I don't think there is one person who's been the biggest influence on my life, though. It depends on what facet of my life. Like the person who has made me better the most, is that, I don't know, who has influenced me for the better the most is definitely Kimberly, my wife. She has made me better. Um, but I also, my parents are awesome, like awesome. So, and they raised me and continue to influence me. And I'm actually looking forward to seeing them here in a couple weeks. At the beginning of May, guys, there are going to be a couple days where we won't be doing live streams, but it's just a couple days because I will be back in California. There are a couple of teachers that had huge outsized influences on me, and I've talked about this before. My 6th grade teacher. Um, I don't know. Is it okay to say his name? I'm gonna call him Mr. B. Mr. B, my 6th grade teacher. That was a transformative year for me. It's a transformative age for most people, but terrific teacher who really helped me become who I am. When I got into high school, I had a teacher named Mr. I'll call him Mr. T. We actually mostly called him Mr. T, but that wasn't his name. Um, who was my photography teacher. And he's one that I'm actually in touch with both. Um, Last time I was in California, I met up with Mr. T and spent a couple hours with him, and that was awesome. I actually just texted him today. Anyway, I tend to, I'm such a sentimental, nostalgic guy. I tend to collect and keep friends. But yeah, I saw Mr. T just a couple months ago, and Mr. B, he and I have plans in June. So, um, my sister and I are gonna go and visit him in June. So yeah, just there's so many people that have influenced me. I'm trying to think, like even a few years back. This has got to be 6 or 7 or 8 years ago now. Um, a girlfriend from high school's dad died. And I had not seen her in decades, but we moved out here to Pennsylvania, and it turned out that they lived within just a few hours. And I thought, I will go and pay my respects to him and, kind of represent my family by going out there and visiting. Um, and I got to see her, which I hadn't seen her in so long. Got to give her a big hug, and it was good to see her. The circumstances weren't good, but it was really, really, really good to see her. Um, anyway, her dad. Oh, we were probably freshmen in high school, and her parents had divorced, and so her dad. Well, they had been divorced a while. I guess it hadn't recently happened when she and I got together. But anyway, Diane, she would be sometimes at her mom's place, which was close to my parents' place, and sometimes at her dad's place, which was still reasonably close, but not as close. I liked the dad's house place because nobody was ever there. And so, teenagers will be teenagers. And not that I was a bad kid, but one day we were being teenagers desperately in love in their living room uh, on a couch, no, on a seat made for one but occupied by two, and and the front door just opened. We didn't hear the car, we didn't hear the garage door open. I think he had parked on the street because he was just going to jet into the house and grab something. So we had no we had no warning, and the front door opened, and it was him, and I launched out of that chair like a cartoon. I feel like I was 8 feet above that chair just from the panicky twitch of my body seeing him, and that taught me it taught me a deep lesson, man. It's like, one, okay, don't be doing things that you wouldn't be doing in front of other people. Like, it sounds so stupid, but it changed me, man. It changed me. Now, that's not to say that I didn't slip from time to time, but wow. Yeah. So, yeah, there are people that have influence on you just in so many ways. So many ways. So, yeah, I hope that answers your question, Diane. Thank you for that question. We are going to do more questions, but before we do that, let's get into headlines.
True crime headlines.
Ow, okie dokie. Headlines for tonight. Quick reminder, Amy Hilliard still is missing. This written by Jillian Money or Moni in San Francisco Gate. Amy Hilliard family desperate for more information offers a $10,000 reward. This is something that, I mean, I think they did the reward a couple days ago, but it's still worth repeating because Amy is still missing. The family of Amy Hilliard has issued a $10,000 reward for information as the search for the missing Bay Area woman enters a fourth week. Hilliard, the co-owner of the popular Farley's coffee shops in San Francisco and Oakland, has not been seen since March 25th. On Monday, the family announced a $10,000 reward for information that leads to her safe return home. Hilliard's sister, Alexandra, said in a video posted Wednesday to the website Bring Amy Home that the family is desperate for information. Quote, I believe that you are out there somewhere, and I pray that wherever you are safe, she said. Hilliard was last seen in surveillance footage near Diamond Park in Oakland around 4:30 p.m. on March 25th. In an interview with the San Francisco Chronicle last week, her husband, Chris Hilliard, said she was recovering from depression and anxiety at the time of her disappearance and was doing all the right things to heal. He told the outlet he found her phone, keys, wallet, and handbag in the kitchen on the day she disappeared. So, she's 5'4", 120 pounds, blonde hair, hazel eyes, 52 years old. If you see her, call 510-238-3641. That is a picture of her and her husband, Chris. Quick little update on the Anna Kepner situation. The 16-year-old brother of Anna Kepner is set to appear in federal court next week in Miami for his arraignment on formal charges in the death of his stepsister during the family cruise. The teen, TH, will go before a magistrate judge at 10 a.m. on Wednesday, the 22nd, on charges of murder and aggravated SA in connection with the November 6th death of the 18-year-old Titusville, Florida cheerleader aboard a Carnival cruise ship, court records show. So next Wednesday is when Mr. Hudson is going to be arraigned. Today there was a hearing for Tyler Robinson. This reported in KSL by Pat Reevy, Dateline Provo, whether Tyler Robinson's preliminary hearing should be delayed and his efforts to keep cameras out of the courtroom are being debated Friday in court. Today, Robinson, who turned 23 on Thursday, is accused of shooting and killing political activist Charlie Kirk on the campus of Utah Valley University on September 10th, 2025. He is charged with capital murder and faces a potential death sentence if convicted. During the first part of Friday's hearing, Judge Tony Graff listened to arguments from both sides about whether his preliminary hearing scheduled to begin May 18th should be postponed. Robinson and his defense team say they have not yet received the appropriate discovery needed to prepare for the preliminary hearing, specifically DNA reports from the FBI and ATF. Quote, "We have a right at a preliminary hearing to both examine and cross-examine witnesses," defense attorney Richard Novak argued in court. "We can't do that when the ATF and FBI have not provided us with appropriate discovery. We can't present any expert testimony on DNA without having the underlying data," he continued. So that is the argument, or those are the arguments that are happening in the Tyler Robinson case. There was a court date today for Mr. McKee in the murder of Monique and Spencer Tepe. Here, the beautiful Tepe family here, the accused murderer of the parents of this beautiful family. Here's what happened at today's court date for Michael McKee, charged in Tepe killings. This is in the Columbus Dispatch, written by Bethany Brunner. A vascular surgeon accused of sneaking into a Wineland Park home and killing his ex-wife and her new husband had an April 16th court appearance, but he wasn't seen. Michael McKee, 39, did not appear in person when his attorney and prosecutors met with Franklin County Common Pleas Court Judge Kim Brown. McKee is charged with aggravated murder and aggravated burglary in connection with the shooting. The April 16th court hearing, a status conference, took place behind closed doors. The attorneys were expected to discuss with Brown the status of the process of exchanging information and evidence and potential timelines for the case moving forward. McKee was brought from the Franklin County Jail, where he is being held without bond, to Common Pleas Court, but kept in a non-public area where he could meet privately with his attorney, Diane Manash. The attorneys did not put anything formally on the record in open court during the April 16th court date, meaning McKee was not brought into the courtroom. A future court date has not been set yet, but is expected to be another status conference type hearing behind closed doors in the months ahead. All right. And then in stupid criminal news, and this just tickles me. From Crime Cod. What? From Crime Cod? What is Crime Cod, you ask? Crime Cod is a website by me. It's at crimecod.com. There's always a link down in the description below. It is a true crime news website. It is also a newsletter that goes out weekly. We just started that back up. Comes out on Tuesdays. On a Tuesday, innit? On a Tuesday. That's right. Anyway, this written by Jacob Charles. I think our dateline is Miami-Dade County. Florida man accused of kidnapping girlfriend claims she wanted to be in the trunk. Okay, now listen. We're just going to pause for a moment. We take victims of crime very seriously. Take crime seriously. But dill hole Defendants, we do not take seriously. We're going to allow ourselves a laugh at this one. Though Jake did write this the way he should have. But just check this, okay? Just check it. A 25-year-old Miami-Dade man allegedly claimed his girlfriend wanted to be in a car trunk before he put her there and drove off, authorities said. Deputies with the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Office arrested Travis Tillman Jr., Dill Hole of the Year, up here. Jr., after the incident, which authorities said began just before 1 a.m. Wednesday at a residence in the 7000 block of Northwest 177th Street in the county's Palm Springs North area. According to an arrest report cited by NBC6 South Florida, Tillman and the victim, who are in a relationship and previously lived together, got into an argument over personal matters that escalated into violence. This is not funny. The couple does not share any children. Investigators said Tillman grabbed the woman, forced her into the trunk of the vehicle, secured it, and drove away with her inside. According to authorities, he later stopped the car and opened the trunk, at which point the woman tried to escape. Yeah. Deputies said Tillman then struck her multiple times in the face and body near the trunk. I think they're talking about the trunk area of the car, not the trunk of the person, and along the passenger side of the vehicle. Surveillance video obtained by investigators appears to show the victim getting out of the trunk and being beaten, according to WPLG. The pair later got back into the vehicle and drove off eastbound before deputies conducted a traffic stop where Tillman was taken into custody. After being read his Miranda rights, here we go. Tillman told investigators the woman, oh my goodness, guys, people are so dumb. Listen, thank you for being a stupid criminal. For the rest of us, we don't talk to police when they arrest us or detain us. We just say, nada, okay? So after being read his Miranda rights, which specifically tell you have the right to remain silent, that you have a right to an attorney to be present while you're questioned, avail yourselves of those rights, except this stupid guy. I'm glad you didn't. Tillman, after being read his Miranda rights, told investigators the woman had struck him first, according to the report. He also claimed she said she did not want to be around him and would rather be inside of the trunk and not in his vicinity. Investigators said Tillman admitted to placing her in the trunk, driving the vehicle with her inside, and striking her. Despite the allegations, authorities said the victim did not have visible injuries and declined medical treatment. Oh, sweetheart. Fortunately, they have that video. Tillman is facing charges of kidnapping and battery and was being held without bond Wednesday morning at the Turner Guilford Knight Correctional Center, according to jail records. Records also show Tillman was previously arrested in an unrelated case on charges including aggravated assault with a firearm, improper exhibition of a firearm or weapon, and resisting an officer without violence. So this guy, winner, man, just a real winner. And I hope that his victim gets help. Stupid dillhole criminal. Okay, last thing, some good news. Wanda, let's get some happy music again, okay? Here we go. Is that happy enough? No, let's make it jazzy. Can we try something jazzy? That's better. Wanda, we're gonna have to prepare some happier music for happy headlines. Okay. Check this out. Connecticut teen, take two, Javi. Connecticut teen accepted to Brown, Cornell, Princeton, Harvard, Yale, and UPenn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Ivy League colleges. Written by Caitlin Keene at Connecticut Insider. Dateline Fairfield, Connecticut. With each acceptance letter Vicki Lynn opened in her Fairfield home, the shock grew as she realized she was accepted into 6 Ivy League schools. Quote, I was obviously very surprised, said Lynn, a senior at Fairfield Ludlow High School. Quote, as I was opening them, the acceptances just kept coming in, and I felt like I was on one of those shows where there are prank cameras. Lynn, 18, said she had been eating dinner at home when she got the news about her acceptances. She said she applied to 25 schools, including 6 Ivy League schools. So she got into all 6 that she applied to: Duke University and MIT. Only 0.3% of students are accepted to any of the 8 Ivy League schools, according to the Ivy Institute. Lynn defied these odds with her acceptances into Brown, Cornell, Princeton, UPenn, Harvard, and Yale. She was also accepted to MIT and Duke. This is funny. Out of the 25 schools, Lynn said she was waitlisted at 4 schools, rejected at 4 schools, and accepted into 9 other schools. Well, you know what? You know what, Vicky? It's the ones that accepted you that are the smart ones. That's right. Look at you with your Harvard little sweatshirt. Yeah. That makes me happy. That's good news, guys. That is very, very, very good news. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Those are your headlines.
True crime headlines.
Okie dokie. Let's see if you guys asked any questions, if you had anything that you wanted to add. Robin. Gavin, can you tell us what it was like when you held your newborn babies? How did it evolve as you had your youngest? It was magical every single time. I was the stereotypical dad that after the baby is born and everything's okay and Kimberly was okay and the baby is well cared for and is warm and cuddled up and fed and all those things, I just passed out. Zonk. Just, I was so, so tired. So tired. You guys, uh, you know, we can take the teasing, but it is not fun being a dad watching your wife go through that. It's beautiful. It is something that is unforgettable and lovely, but it is not fun because, at least for me, my job is to be protective and to be a provider to my wife, a protection against everything, including pain. And I just couldn't in that moment. And my wife had decided on natural childbirth. So yeah, holding those babies for the first time, it did change over time, right? Because the first time you hold that baby and you're instantly in love and instantly hit with the realization that, oh my goodness, I am now responsible for this, for the well-being of this child for the rest of my life. And it's like hitting a brick wall, right? By the time the second one comes, that part of it you're used to. By the time the fifth one comes, that doesn't even phase you. But the actual holding, the smelling, the getting to know, the falling in love, it all happens the exact same way and is beautiful. And all of our children were born differently. Our oldest was born naturally. Our second was born with an epidural because I got to choose the birth plan. And it was a horrible experience for Kimberly. She hated it. So our third child was born without an epidural. Our fourth child was born at home in a swimming pool. And our fifth child was delivered cesarean section after a real emergency. So yeah, each experience was slightly different. Well, was very different. Children 1 and 3 were pretty similar, except child number 3 was giant. So yeah, that first time holding your child, whether it's your first or your fifth, is a beautiful, beautiful moment of, it's like it's a love story that it doesn't culminate. It's the beginning of a love story where you just paternally are so in love. I was thinking about this today because I'm 50 years old and I am convinced that if I need anything, If I were in need of anything, my parents would move heaven and earth to make sure that it happened if I was in need, right? And the way that I know that is because I know that I would do that for our children. I was just thinking about this today. Like, yeah. One of our sons had some body work done on his car today, and I knew that he was going to need help picking up the car. And I was already having a day, but ooh, I was happy as could be to offer that. Be happy to do it because I would do anything, as I think most parents are like. Valerie asks, what is your favorite activity to just veg out and unwind? Oh, my favorite activity to veg out is just vegging out. That's it. Probably just watching a movie. I like movies to just veg. I like to do that. Um, all right. Let's see. I lean into it. Gavin. Okay, well, I have to understand the question real quick. Let me. Selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors are a type of antidepressant medication used to treat depression, anxiety disorders, and other mental health conditions. Okay, so would I consider a deep dive into how SSRI medicine changes the brain? Asking because it's used as a defense sometimes. Um, I consider it. I would need an expert on that. Debbie asks, since you lived in Argentina, have you eaten criadillas? ¿Qué es lo que es criadilla? It's been so long. Oh, yeah. Yes, I have. I had forgotten that's what it was called. Yes. In Argentina, I I have eaten every bit of cows, horses, goats, armadillos, cats, sheep. I've eaten them all and every bit of them. Yes, indeed. Uh, let's see. Of course, I'd answer that question. Yes, of course. I'd forgotten what they were called, but in fact, I had those before I went to Argentina. I grew up in a very rural upbringing. Well, at least until I was 8, and then the summers and winters too. Right. Moved to Sacramento, California when I was 8. But Emmy says try a Slavic language. Emmy, I don't think I have it in me, man. What I love about the Romance languages is that their construction is the same. I don't have to go through the process of trying to figure out, number one, what the construction is, and number two, why is it that way? I already got it. So, uh, so I'm sticking there. Um, Plus, Slavic languages, I don't know that I have an actual use for. Like in my life, I don't have ancestry from that part of the world. I don't go to church with anybody like an old family from that part of the world where I could say, hey, this would be fun to get to know them and understand their language. Um, so I'm just sticking with the romances, the Latin languages. Uh, Scotch's mom says, "My dad." Is that something that you would take with you on a deserted island? Um, Debbie asking, "Your kids too?" Have my kids asking about the criadillas? No, I doubt it. I doubt it. They're picky eaters. Um, let's see. Yeah, Bree, in order for me to see your comments, you got to put a GF in front of them. It highlights it on my end. Going down, Barb says apparently this is the first murder trial for this judge. I guess there's got to be a first for everybody. Glitter says, Gavin, That accent was amazing. What what accent did I do? I don't even remember. What accent did I do? That's funny. What accent did I do? Was it the impressive clergyman? I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Jules says, Gavin, how does Wanda play jazz drums and jazz piano and stand up bass and jazz guitar at the same time? Wanda's a cool cat. Well, see, Wanda's like the Hydra, man. She's just got arms. She's just got arms. She can play it all at the same time. Sometimes she uses her feet. I actually think that she was on a first name basis with the drummer from Def Leppard. I think they were buddies. Is that Wanda? Am I speaking out of school? No, yeah. You babysat him? She babysat the drummer from Def Leppard and learned some things from him, I guess. That's pretty great. So yeah, she can play it all. She is amazing. She is amazing. Uh Coffee Time for D says, what about Dr. Patrice? She could help you with a deep dive. Indeed. Indeed. Um Seashore CJ says, how long will you stay in Pennsylvania? We had originally thought that this was the place that we would this would be the last place we would buy. Um, but I feel called back to California a little bit as the parents are aging, as my in-laws are aging as well. So I don't know. We also have roots here in this little town. Our daughter married a kid from this little town, and we have friends here. And if we were ever to move back to California to be closer to family, uh, I think our goal would be to keep this place in order to be able to come back here, to vacation back here. Um, oh, Scotch's mom says, no, my dad was the most influential person in my life. That's awesome. But not, you wouldn't take him with you to the deserted island? Scotch's mom, when do you get your hair cut? As soon as it hits 14 inches. As soon as it hits 14 inches, I am cutting it. Do we want to do something? Do we want to do something special, like some sort of special live stream activity, or I don't know, raising money or something like that for the haircut? I think I am. Um, I think I am at about 12 inches right now. So I've got another 2 inches to go. It has been growing at about a half an inch a month, but I've been recently taking supplements to try to. I don't know if it'll work, but I've been taking supplements to try to make it go faster. I don't know if it'll work. Uh, Three doxies, one prince. Same, Gavin. Just so wrong. Barbara Olson, where's your wife originally from? She is a Northern California girl. Yeah, we grew up about 20 minutes from one another in different suburbs of Sacramento. We have like tons of friends in common. We are the same age. We went to different high schools, but we would have gone to like activities, like football games or whatever at each other's high school. We were in the same school district, same religion, same like we would have been at dances together. Probably from the time we were 14 years old on up, we would have been at the same dances together from time to time. Never met, never met. So yeah, her folks live about 20 minutes from my folks, and which is it's only really a couple of miles because you're driving, it's surface street driving, right? They're only a couple miles away. I think it's something like, I don't know, 4.5 miles away, maybe 5 miles. I've never really looked, but yeah, that's where she grew up. Robin says I should get some sweet braids. Well, listen, speaking of my lovely wife, every once in a while I will sit down on the floor. She will sit on the couch behind me while we're watching a movie or something like that, and she'll put in like a French braid or a Dutch braid or whatever. It feels good. Feels good. Maybe I should do Coolio style braids. Haven't done that. Coffee time for D. How about a live of you cutting it and then us making donations to the charity that you're giving this to, because they're going to do, you're doing this to give somebody a wig, right? Yes, that's exactly right. Maybe we do that. That would be fun. Glitter is forever. Is it biotin that I'm taking? It is. I'm taking biotin, and I'm also taking keratin. That's more for my nails, because I have this thumbnail that keeps splitting. So yeah, that is Black Widowers thinks that I should do pigtails. And I think that's it, guys. I think we got all of our comments and all of our questions in. Thank you very much for spending this Friday, April 17th with me. Deeply appreciate you. Thanks for hanging in there with me through my moodiness today. And for missing yesterday. Yesterday just got away from me. The day just got away from me, and I didn't have the time. So you guys are awesome. Remember, if you are on the Rewatch crew and you do Spotify Premium, do me a favor, go over there to Spotify and listen, because that helps me grow that channel, which helps me work toward and get closer to the goal, my ultimate goal of doing this full time. You can always catch me on my website, gavinfish.com. Go to crimecod.com, sign up for the newsletter. There's always a link in the description or the show notes below. And join us on Facebook, will you? In the fish tank. There's a link to my website, and on my website, if you click the little fishy up in the navigation menu, you will make it to the fish tank on Facebook. And yeah, you're just always welcome there. No pressure, no pressure, just an invitation. With that, I shall bid you adieu until next week. I hope you have a great weekend if you're listening to this on Friday, or I hope you had a great weekend if you're listening to it afterwards. Whenever you listen to it, I hope it's great, and I will see you on our next show. Until then, take care of yourselves. I'll see you then. Bye-bye. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw, please consider subscribing. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below.